these. You do not need to turn these in. As long as we see that you have been working throughout the entire class and you have not packed up early and didn't finish and show us, you'll get your 10 points for today, all right? But if you are not finished it, you don't work on these practice problems, that's where we're going to mark you down for. So today, it's about just effort today, okay? Not right now. When it's open, it's open. You don't have to ask as long as there's a pass. But right now, there's not. Somebody went out. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is something that we haven't yet talked about and you haven't yet seen, but I've been referencing it in our discussion. Today, for example, I referenced it in the marble slide because we saw that the graph leveled off at x equals -1 in that first do now problem, right? And you changed that, for those of you who figured it out, you changed that to +3, right? That was the answer for the first do now. You change it from the exponential -1 to the exponential +3. And that's where it moved it up 3 and it leveled off at y equals 3. So asymptotes are a property of all exponents. Every exponent has a horizontal asymptote. One end will have a horizontal asymptote, and the other end will go to either positive or negative infinity. Now notice that this part right here says infinity. The symbol we use for infinity is what? What is the symbol that we use for infinity? Two little circles next to each other. So it's like, well, you can do it as two circles. Technically, the way you do it is it's like a loop circle. Or you can just draw two circles. I think most people are finding it just going circle, circle attached to each other. But technically, you're drawing the circle as like a loop, an infinity loop. That symbol means infinity. All right? We also have negative infinity. So if we want to have negative infinity, we put minus in the two circles. If you want to do it as two circles, we're going to put it right there. So positive, if you don't have to put a positive in front. If there's nothing in front of the infinity symbol, we consider that positive infinity. With a minus in front of it, that's negative infinity. The other sign approaches a specific y value. That is called the asymptote. Okay? Exponential equations always have a horizontal asymptote. Yes? The asymptote is the y value where it's leveling off from. Yes, it's the y value. So for example, this problem has an asymptote at y equals 0. You see how the graph levels off at the x-axis? That is y equals 0. The basic exponential equation always has an asymptote at y equals 0. Now notice this equation, y equals 2x. There's nothing fancy about that. All right? So y equals 2x has a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. This was the equation that you graphed yesterday in your do now. Okay? I had you graph this in your do now, and as we saw, as we put in numbers, the graph got bigger and bigger and bigger on the right-hand side, right? So as x gets bigger, all right, the graph goes to positive or negative infinity. Does the graph point up to the right or down to the right? It goes up. You see how the graph is going up as I go to the right? As x gets larger, it's going up. So we say that this approaches infinity. So as x gets larger, y approaches positive infinity. Okay? Y approaches. You can also write this as y with an arrow, positive infinity. So as x gets bigger, positive infinity, y goes to positive infinity. Is anybody in here totally new? So this means as x gets larger, as x goes to positive infinity, x is larger, y gets larger. All right? So this is as x is larger, x larger, y larger. Okay? As x gets smaller in this case, so as x gets smaller, as x goes to negative infinity, as x is smaller, meaning to the left, x smaller, okay, y goes to 0. All right? Y goes to 0. And that's where it's leveling off. So in this case, the asymptote will always be written as y equals. All right, the asymptote is y equals 0. That's what we noted as. The asymptote is y equals 0, y equals blank for every single time we do an exponential equation. Okay? Today we're just going to look at the graphs. We're going to go to the next page and we're going to look at these graphs and we're going to try to answer these questions. Some of you have gone ahead and already done it. So look at this first graph. If I put in a negative number, a small number, negative 20 is a small number, what is this graph going to be? What is the value of y? Positive what? Positive 1. Okay? So that means that y equals 1. So the asymptote is y equals 1. Okay? If I go f equals negative 20 on the second equation, what is the y value? Negative 2. So once again, we have an asymptote of y equals negative 2 in this problem. And on this last problem, we have what is it? What is the value of like f equals 20? 3. So the asymptote, it'll come up right now. Y equals 3. I got to switch back to it. It's this dongle. Using school ones, never a smart one. Let me get the apple. Come on, come back. Exactly. Searching. Why are you searching? There it goes. All right. So that's what asymptotes are looking at. Also, we can see that this one, the graph on the right-hand side is going to what? What is the y going towards on the right? What is y going towards on this one? Huh? It's going up, and what do we say up is? Y is going up means y is going towards positive infinity. So in this case, y is approaching positive infinity on the right. This one, y is approaching positive infinity to the right. And on this one, y is approaching positive infinity on the left. Okay? But notice that one side goes to positive infinity. That's how we note the value. And the other side levels off at y equals, which is called the horizontal asymptote. Okay? Y equals 3 right there. Sorry about that. All right. Now let's go in terms of the stuff that we've been talking about. How the values and how do we change these graphs? Okay? So changing the terms of the graph can affect it. So this is the idea of y equals a times b to the x plus c. Okay? Y equals a times b to the x plus c. These are the three numbers that we have. We also talked about that if we want to flip the graph. If we want to know what is the y-intercept, okay? The y-intercept, because if you put in 0 up here, if you put in x equals 0, what is b to the 0? No. B to the 0 is always 1. So then whatever, if you put in, remember y-intercept is you put this x as 0. So if I make this 0, basically this whole thing becomes 1. So the y-intercept is always just these two numbers added together. So this a plus c is the y-intercept. So if you add those two numbers, you're going to get the y-intercept. Let's look up top and see that. Okay? Let's look at this problem. Here's A, that's the B, that's the base part, and that's the C. If I just add, if I make this 1 or I kind of ignore that, what happens when I add these two numbers together? What do I get?
What's 5 plus 1?
Nope, that's 0.5.
Oh, 0.5, sorry. 0.5 plus 1.
0.5. 0.5.
No, 0.5.
1.5. Look at the y-intercept. 1.5. Next problem.
Can I show you all something? Because y'all confused. I have to see it all of you. Real quick.
It's good to have that extra input from you.
Before he moves on. So when he said, everybody up here, so that you're not confused. Remember, this is your x-axis, this is your y. So when he says y-intercept, he means where does this line intersect on the y-axis? And as you can see, it's halfway between, which is 1.5. Okay? You all see it? Does it make sense?
All right. So this one, here's A and here's C. What happens when I add these two together? What's 2 minus 2? Or 2 plus negative 2? What's 2 plus negative 2? 0. Look at the y-intercept. Y equals 0. Look at this one. Oh, there's no number in front. If there's no number in front, there's always an imaginary 1. Because there's no number in front, A is 1. Okay? So if you don't see anything in front of the number, if there's only the exponent base, then the number in front is 1. So 1 plus 3 is 4. And look at the y-intercept. Y equals 4. Okay? Make sense? Y equals 4. Now, let's see, is that the next part? Okay. So we now know how to find the y-intercept. All right? Does everybody see how to find the y-intercept?
If you don't, this is the time to speak up.
You're going to practice it on the next one. So you're going to end up practicing on what's the y-intercept and stuff like that. So there's that piece right there. The second part right here is how do we find the asymptote? So when we have this equation, y equals a times b to the x plus c, this value c is the asymptote. The asymptote is y equals whatever that number is, c. Now, during today's do now, this is what you were playing with. That first question of do now, you wanted to change the asymptote to be y equals 3 because all the stars were aligned on y equals 3. So you change it from minus 1 to plus 3. Okay? So for example, let's look at the first problem. What is c in this first problem? 1. Look at the asymptote. It's y equals 1. Second problem. What is c? Look at the asymptote. It is negative 2. We don't, in case you don't have to actually graph it. If you don't have to graph. What is c here? And if you notice, the asymptote becomes y equals 3. So whatever value you see. So there's 2 things that we want to learn from today. Or 3 things that we want to learn. Just to summarize that y equals c value. We've learned about the y-intercept, which is always going to be y equals a plus c. And the last thing that we learned about is the idea of plus infinity versus negative infinity. So these are the three things that were on our lesson from today that we covered. We will expand this knowledge as we go into tomorrow and the rest of next week, or tomorrow and part of next week. Please answer these questions right here. You have a graph. Use the graph to find out what the asymptotes are. So here's how the problems work. These are 3 problems here. These 3 are worth 1 point each. So you can answer these. This is based on this. This is on here. This is on here. Okay? 1 point each. These 3 are worth 2 point each. By the time you leave, before you start doing anything else, before me and Miss Patterson are going to be looking to see that you've gotten at least these 5 points for this, and then we'll give you your grade for today's classwork for 10 out of 10. Got it? All right, let's work.